Good afternoon to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. Today is Thursday, April 9th, and we have one more day into the COVID-19 disaster. We're here today to give you an update and to give you a few tidbits of what's going on around the state and in our local community here in St. Bernard Parish, going into Easter weekend. Tomorrow being Good Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, we will not be doing any updates unless something happens to where we need to get a message out to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. You know, at the top here, I really would like to thank the citizens of St. Bernard for doing your part to make sure that our community, the state, our country, and our world are moving toward a better place. It's not time to relax. Actually, it is time to make sure that we put on, like I say, a full court press on the COVID-19. So first of all, I want to thank you guys for that. We are going to need some help here in St. Bernard Parish over the weekend, right? It's Easter weekend. We have only essential personnel working, so there will be no trash pickup on our streets for the weekend. We know usually this is a trash weekend, or a lot of trash will be put out on a curb and so forth in St. Bernard Parish. We're just asking you to help us with that. Make sure that your trash is secured in your garbage can throughout St. Bernard, so that on Monday morning we still have a beautiful highway, a clean highway and neutral ground throughout St. Bernard Parish. With that said, an update today, we now have 325 cases here in St. Bernard Parish, and that is positive cases of COVID. And we still are at 10 deaths. Again, our thoughts and our prayers go out to the families of those 10 individuals that have succumbed to the COVID-19. So we continue to pray every day for the families and for the friends and for our parish, that we get through this with God's grace and peace at the end of it. Our hospital is holding really, really good right now. They're holding up under the pressure of this COVID-19. Today we have 33 total patients. The number of COVID patients are 23, and 7 of those are on a ventilator. So, and we have some ventilators to spare at our hospital. Staffing seems to have leveled out, and our healthcare workers are continuing this fight on our behalf. So we need to make sure that we do everything that we can to make sure that we don't wind up in the hospital and we don't spread this virus, and we practice the social distancing guidelines that's set forth by our president, our governor, and by your parish leaders. So with that said, it looks like we are into this flattening of the curve. It's not official. We don't have enough numbers, like we keep continuing to say, that over the long haul is where we're looking at these numbers. And to get those numbers, by the way, I got a few phone calls in the last day or so. I'm at ldh.la.gov is where you can get these numbers updates for positive tests and the deaths in each parish in the state of Louisiana. So I wanted to make sure I said that. Your water bill payments, we're getting a bunch of calls on that. Our buildings are closed, but we are still working. All of the phone numbers, you should have an answer at the other end of that line. If not, please contact me by email at President McInnis at sbpg.net. But you still pay your water bill the same way. You could either mail it in, you can drop it off at the lockbox there at the Water and Sewer Commission, or you can do it online. We're asking everyone to take this opportunity to register for online payments and automatic payments for that, for your water bills. And it really would help us save on paper. It's good for the environment, and it makes us more efficient here at parish government. So we want to thank you for considering that. I also want to give you a little update. And first of all, let me thank Councilman Lewis for giving the update on the SBA process and the unemployment process to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. Thank you so much. We've gotten some phone calls we were able to answer. There is some additional information that I want to pass along to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. Tri-Parish Works, Workforce Solutions, they're located here at Nunez Community College. The building is closed, but you can call them for assistance in applying for unemployment. And that number is area code 504-278-6214, and they will assist you in applying for unemployment. They also wanted me to pass along to you that some current information for filing for unemployment. If you're self-employed, they want to make sure that you check off that you are either a contract employee or that you own your own business, and that would be self-employed, right? And they want you to upload to the HIRE system, H-I-R-E system, your 2019 income information. That would be your 1099s, your 1040 SE, and or your 1040C. And they want to let you know that they're there to help you with your application. Another thing that's happened, the governor announced this yesterday, that the LWC, the Louisiana Workforce Commission, is expected to begin sending out these additional $600 payments that the federal government has sent down next week, beginning on April 13th. So if your application's not already in for unemployment, if you qualify for unemployment in Louisiana, an additional $600 check should be sent to you next week. And those checks will be retroactive back to the week ending of April 4th and will continue through July 31st, 2020. So we want to thank our congressional delegation for everything that they're doing to make sure that our citizens are taken care of during this disaster. So we're going into Easter weekend, and you know, the thought process is we are being asked to make some sacrifices. And not just for these 3 days, but for a duration that we don't know yet at the end of this, to make sure that we can get back to work. The president, our governor, and local leaders in the healthcare industry are working on a system, a modeling system, a testing system, to make sure that we can get people back to work and protect those who need to be protected. So they're continuing to ask, and I am continuing to ask, our citizens to make that sacrifice. You know, we're asking you to sacrifice by staying home, right? By shopping less, grocery shopping less today than you did maybe a month ago. We're asking you to sacrifice. We're asking you to adhere to the social distancing guidelines. We're asking you to wash your hands plenty times a day, 20 seconds with soap. You know, we're asking you in some instances to wear a mask. I know a lot of our employees in our grocery stores are wearing masks now. Their employers are protecting them with the plexiglass, and we're standing outside 6 feet apart. I am amazed and in awe of our citizens and how they are complying. I went to a few of our large groceries and our smaller ones yesterday, and people are complying. And we're sacrificing. And, you know, going into this Easter weekend, we know about sacrifice. We learn about the sacrifice of Jesus. So look what he went through, and look what he sacrificed for us. So I think we can follow these social distancing guidelines in comparing that, especially this weekend. We ought to be able to think about that and do just a little better tomorrow than we're doing today as far as getting to the end of this COVID-19 saga. So I wanted to put that out there. And I really do think I'm talking to a lot of families, I talk to a lot of citizens about what's going on right now and what are they doing to cope. And I think families are coming together more now than they ever have, right? It's a challenge. It's a struggle. Parents are learning different things. And something that I get out of it, you know, when I was a child growing up, who was the most important person in the classroom? Who was the most important person on the football field or the basketball court, right? Who was the most important person dealing with crime, right? You know, when I was growing up, and it's kind of changed a little bit over the years, but when I was growing up, you know, the most important person on a team was the coach. The most important person in the classroom was the teacher. The most important person when you're dealing with crime was the police officer, not little Johnny, you know, not your child. You know, the authority was always in charge, and the parents backed that up. And maybe something along those lines, we're heading in that direction in a lot of discussions that I'm having. You know, little Johnny is home a lot now. With who? The parents. And it's a forced situation, right? So the parents have to be home all day, and I'm going to say little Johnny. So they're learning now more than they did before this started about their children and what's important and the discipline and the life lessons that we all need to learn when we're growing up. So maybe at the end of this, we might be able to go back a little bit, and the people who are supposed to be important in little Johnny's life will be raised to that level by our community and by our parents. So that's a little tidbit from me. I don't know if, you know, other people feel that way, but it would be something, it would be a positive move in that direction, in my opinion. So being a teacher, being a coach, and now being a leader of our parish. So going into this weekend, I want to wish everyone a happy Easter. Enjoy it with your families. And thank you so much for being attentive and making sure that we flatten this curve. And please stay home and enjoy your families. And God bless.